What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show, man. It is Tuesday, so you already know what time it is. But before we get into this episode breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit that's going down right here, all right? So, as you can tell from the title, we're getting ready to break down the trailer for Tyler Perry's Sistas, all right? Episode number 9, titled True Colors, all right? So the synopsis for this episode states that Karen gives Andi an ultimatum, which we already knew that was going to happen, after a run-in with Fatima. Maurice makes a rash decision in an effort to help Sabrina, but it could backfire, landing them both in more trouble. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So we start this episode trailer with Fatima and Karen in her apartment or whatnot. So the previous episode had Fatima coming in at the last minute when Karen was just so openly with her information that she just wanted to share it with the world and let everybody know that Zachary was coming over to lay that thing down, all right? And not in those words. So she wanted everybody to exit the building because she honestly believed that Zachary was going to show up once again, as he always has in the past. But this is a new Zach, so we believe, right? But anyhow, so obviously he conveys this information to Fatima, who shows up unannounced. She walks in the door, and she was like, yeah, that's what I want to know about. So, like I stated before, she wanted everybody to know, now the whole world knows. Now, do I feel like it was right for Fatima to walk in the house? I'm 50-50 with it, because, after hearing somebody is intentionally trying to throw it at your man, your fiance, and there are ill intentions, I can sort of side with them, not thinking logically about it. So mentally, Fatima was not there. I'm going to give her that. On the other side, I'm looking at Karen the same way. She's in love. She's falling in this lust and love once again for Zach, and Zach isn't going there with her. He says that I love you, but I'm no longer in love with you. I'm in love with Fatima. But the messaging, the emotions that he's shown her for the past couple of episodes has made Karen believe that there once again was an opportunity for them to rekindle what was from the past. Unfortunately, Zach sheds light on that at the coffee shop that, look, I'm with Fatima, and it is what it is. So, for me, I'm blaming Zach for this as well, because he should have just conveyed his thoughts to her a long time ago, and he could have done shit a whole lot differently. But I'm going to leave it at that. So, anyhow, in this scene right here, we see Fatima, we see Karen, they going at it, like, what you going to do? Woo. And look, I don't honestly believe that Fatima's going to place her hands on Karen, even though she probably wants to because of, the situation, the context, right? But honestly, I think she's wise enough to understand that if she lays her hands on a pregnant woman, potentially there could be some repercussions, right? So I don't honestly believe that that's going to transpire in this scene. I believe that both parties are equally wrong in this situation. Fatima's wrong for coming in unannounced. Karen is wrong for even starting this shit. Now, true enough, Karen can pretty much say whatever she wants to, as long as she doesn't touch or place her hands on Zach. But for me, quite honestly, for the past few weeks, Karen has been crossing the boundaries. Now, let's be honest about this. Yes, she's been crossing the boundaries. She's been touching. She's been touchy-feely. She's been kissing on the cheek for the past few episodes, even in the previous episode. I can see that starting to trickle down into other things as well. But quite honestly, with that, I can't honestly blame all of that on her. She was just falling into what Zach was laying out. So with Zach not setting boundaries, Zach not conveying his thoughts to Karen, he initiated a lot of this shit as well. So I'm blaming both of these parties equally. Well, I'm not even going to say equally. I'm going to look at Zach for a lot of this because he should have set the boundaries from the get-go. And we're just going to leave it at that. From there, man, we head over to Aaron and Zach, since we want to talk about them. Aaron and Zach are back at it once again. And Aaron is like, oh, so you the father. Now, I don't know what has transpired in this conversation. I'm not sure. Obviously, I believe from the previous recap that we could see at the end of the previous episode, I believe Aaron had a little bit too much to drink, which I don't believe he drinks that much. So I'm quite sure he's probably tipsy. So I'm not really going to take everything that he says for literal. But at the same time, you know, most of the time they say when you get look it up, you say your true thoughts. So honestly, he feels some type of way about Zach. Zach feels some type of way about him. So they get to this point where Zach is, you know, standing there and Aaron is like, so you're the father, right? So Zach tells this man, which I have a whole problem with, I'm going to find out if it's my kid when I'm ready. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, bro, you need to find out if it's your kid like yesterday. Because you're trying to start this future with this woman, Fatima, and you going into these situationships, man, and you bringing baggage. You're bringing uncertainty to this, and this is causing an uproar in your household. And for me, as a man, I'm supposed to be able to resolve a lot of shit that's going on in my house. Like, my house is my castle. That's where, you know, I'm able to have a reprieve. Like, I'm not stressed out about work. I'm not stressed out about what's going on the outside of these four walls. But Zach seems like he's open and he's welcoming this shit to come into his house. So the whole thing that went down with Fatima, he could have nipped this in the bud a long time ago. Now you got an unhappy house. Now you got your girl over here at your ex-woman's house because you didn't man up. You didn't do the shit you were supposed to. And I know it sounds crazy because last week I commended Zach. But from this preview, man, I'm not liking Zach. And I try to support my brothers as much as possible. When you do this shit right here, I cannot respect it at all. But anyhow, you know, we'll find out how that goes. So anyhow, we go from there and we see Calvin and Maurice. Now, at this point, I'm fed up with the whole situation with Maurice and Calvin. I mean, I'm completely over this whole saga. Like, obviously, he wants revenge on Q. Ultimately, all of this is going to backfire, and he's going to end up not just getting himself in trouble, but potentially getting Sabrina in trouble, who does not deserve to be in this at all. And for me, he's no type of friend. Like, own your shit, just like I said about Zach. Own your stuff. Own it. You brought Q into the situation when they even tried to tell you not to. You chose to, you know, do what you do. And unfortunately, it's causing pain and stress on others. And if you love Sabrina like you say you do, then it's time to just do what you need to do in an honorable fashion at this point, Maurice, and let this shit go. Allow the detectives or whomever, the attorney that Bio has in place, to assist you with this case. It is what it is. Anyhow, moving on from that scene, man. We see Danny and Preston. Now, last week, I was giving Danny props because of her maturity level. Like, I could see her evolving a little bit. Not credit for her getting down with a married man. I don't never want you to hear me saying that on this platform, not right here. I don't condone that. I believe that you take those vows seriously. I don't believe that if you are married, you don't need to be dipping in the other way either. So for me, I just honestly feel that, you know, I'm not for sure how this relationship is going to work. I do believe that I recall seeing something, and I hate that they put these things out so early, but it's not going to last. This relationship is not going to work. But for some reason, I feel that Tyler is going to find some type of way to keep Preston and Sabrina going in some type of way. I'm not sure. But anyhow, we see them sitting at the restaurant. He's like, what's good? She got this look on her face like, I'm uncertain. She's getting liquored up once again. I just don't get it. Like, it's crazy because Tyler Perry picks these people who are beautiful people on the outside, but inwardly they are just torn to shreds. They're ugly on the inside because they're so insecure, they don't know who they are, and they're just trying to find their way. And I feel with Dani, she's constantly in these situations because she doesn't know and she doesn't honestly love who she is. And she's a beautiful woman. Y'all have heard me say how beautiful Dani is. Sometimes she needs to get some better clothes, but I'm just saying she's a beautiful woman altogether. Now, on the flip side of that, Preston, I'm not sure if he's, closed that door down with Mindy completely or not, because we haven't seen that on the episodes. I'm hoping that he has, but at the end of the day, there's only so much respect I can give to him as well, because you were engaged to this woman. All of a sudden you change your mind just like that for Dani, who doesn't know what she wants. She says, shit, I'm gonna give it a try. Let's give it a try. You're here, I'm here, let's do it. So the next thing we see is with Zach and Fatima. So Fatima's pissed off. She's like, look, I can't stand her, I'm sick of her, whoop, whoop, whoop. Zach says to her, you know that she carries a gun, right? Fatima has this look on her face like, you know who I am? Now, I'm not going to say that Fatima would just 100% beat down on Karen. I don't know that to be true, because most of the time, I fought people who were a lot taller and a lot larger than I am. And I got down on that ass. So, size doesn't really matter. It matters about the heart of the person. Are you willing to take that ass whooping, or are you going to give it? All right, so for me, this whole situation, once again, I'm looking at Zach. You're telling her that she has a gun, and the woman that you're engaged to has a gun as well. And, with guns, people are just so trigger happy, man. Like, because at the end of this scene, I'm going to go ahead and jump to it. Karen is so pissed off at this moment that she has to pull out the GUN, and she has the door literally open, waiting on old girl to show back up. Sabrina comes in and she's like, why in the hell you got the door open? She's like, I'm waiting on her to show back up. Like, where are we in our minds mentally when it comes to carrying these things? Like, we have to think differently about this. And you're going to do this over some dick? I'm sorry. Listen, it's so much more out there, Karen. It's so much out there, Fatima. And you're going to do it for a dude that's bringing all this baggage to the table? When you got for real good dudes out here that are looking for great women who want to be loved. And y'all fighting over this dude right here. Anyhow, with that, since we talking about dudes, we see Gary. Now, Gary in the previous episode done got all up in Andi's brain, the brain that's there, right? And he tells her, look, I'm gonna meet you at your house at 9:30 so we can have sex. Now, his intentions are not to have sex from the preview that we saw previously. He's trying to play mind games with her. But I think this shit is going to backfire, because yeah, she wants to have sex. We already know how she is when it comes down to that. But at the same time, Gary is trying to play these games. His ass knows that he wants to do that thing right there too. But he's trying to play hard to get. He's trying to make her feel like he felt when he came over and she dismissed his ass. I hate dudes like this, man. Listen, you got to be secure in your manhood. This right here is showing a whole bunch of boys right here where they're not being mature enough to handle real relationships. You need to learn how to lead and guide these conversations. Listen to your woman, see what she's wanting. Listen to what she needs, what she's yearning for. Give her what she needs. But Gary's trying to put monetary in front of everything else. He's putting money here. He's buying her penthouses, buying her cars. But all Andi wants is love. Unfortunately, Gary was married when they first got into this situation, so he was loving multiple people. See what I'm saying? So, like I said before, it goes back to the point that I made earlier. Tyler takes these beautiful people, these attractive people, and make them the worst things, the scum of the earth. So, that's pretty much my take on this, man. I'm really interested in seeing the episode just to see how it's going to turn out, because I started this platform so we can have honest and transparent conversations about, the shows that we like to watch. And I do everything black right here. So You know what I'm saying? If there's any other shows that y'all want to talk about, leave a comment down below. Let me know about that as well. I might be looking at it, and I also might be reviewing it right now, getting ready to upload a video. So you just never know right here. As I stated before, this is a trailer breakdown. I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow night. All right, with that being said, I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Thanks for listening.